Joff, all this press speculation about Malthouse and Eddie, where does that stand?
I think that Collingwood is news. We all know that, and I think that the better we get, the more stories they want from about Collingwood. I think the last week, 2 weeks have been absolute shockers for people who have just wanted to make up stories about Collingwood. Radio stations, TV stations, newspapers. The better Collingwood get, the greater the stories become. So, and I also think that the game has become so saturated by the media that everyone has to come home with a story. You don't come home with a story, you don't get paid. I mean, some of the stuff that's been said about Collingwood this week has been way over the top.
Tell me about the cheer squad. Now, you weren't at the match last week.
No, I was at the match last week, and the what you're talking about was not a cheer squad thing. Okay, but because they published a 2-year-old picture in the Herald Sun of the cheer squad with Stephen Milne, people don't want to read the fine print. They just want to see that picture and make up their own mind. You've got to remember, there's a lot of extra hatred of Collingwood at the moment. 71,000 members, 12 on the trot they've won, going for 13. Record attendances here at the MCG. AFL attendances are on the rise because more people are coming to support Collingwood. We're the most watched, most talked about football club in the land. They're odds on to go back-to-back premiership. The Collingwood hatred out there is at an all-time high, and we've got to, as Collingwood people and Collingwood family, we have to be very, very careful right now because they're out to get us, and they're out to get us big time.
You had a judge of the court support your position, but still the media drove that story.
Because on Talkback Radio, if they go bashing Collingwood, they get calls coming in. That's what Talkback Radio is all about. You go bashing Collingwood in newspapers, they sell record amounts of newspapers. You be the first to bash Collingwood on the main news, you get more people watching.
You've said to me in the past that you would never, ever support racist comments.
That's right.
Stand by that.
That's right, yep.
However, you did say that some aspects of a player's history are fair game.
Oh, absolutely.
But in terms of what happened to Milne, do you think that was fair?
Oh, I think that was probably a bit over the top. We've got to remember, Milne was never charged with anything, okay? So he's not guilty. To level that at him in any form is wrong, and you can get yourself into trouble. And there was trouble because of what happened last Friday night. You can't call somebody something if they haven't been charged, found guilty. No, found guilty, I should say. You can be charged and not found guilty. But we've got, as people, we've got to be very careful. We've got to be very careful the way we behave as people.
Isn't there enough material in a person's commentary without going into racist comments, without denigrating the character of someone?
You can banter, you can throw friendly fire without putting yourself in the gutter.
Would you support anyone in your cheer squad if they sank to that level?
No. And I've told people before on the cheer squad who have been bordering on racist comments, do it again and I'll go to security or report you to the club. Racism is the lowest form of human behaviour. To bring racist comments to the football, you're bringing a lot of personal problems to the football.
Okay, now tell me, Malthouse and Maguire, what is the story? Do you have any insight?
I saw Mick Malthouse and Eddie Maguire at the Jock McHale book launch during the week. I'm going to tell you, there's no conflict. I think what we've got to remember is, as people, we're all allowed to have our own opinion on things. Just because one may disagree with the other doesn't mean there's a massive falling out bordering on a World War III. Come on, give us a break.
And again, is it because they went into what they now call the Kirribilli contract, that it's creating so much.
Well, I think the press is wanting to make something out of it because this has never been done before. This is the first time in the history of AFL football, 120, 130 years old, we have a succession plan where one coach is on his way to a second flag, back-to-back, and he's letting go of the reins for a new bloke to come in. No, the press are fascinated by that because a lot of the press can't. See, the press are very stale. The press have got to lighten up and become a little bit imaginative in the way that they see things and think. Because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean that it's not going to work. I mean, Buckley will be a great coach. Malthouse has been a great coach. The club has moved on from the Malthouse era into the Buckley era. What's the problem with that?
Now, Joffa, I know you're the king of the cheer squad, but...
Oh, well, that's alleged. Yes, king of the kids. Here we all have the kids. This is Pearl. Say hello.
Today, I was playing with my friends, and my friend was born.
Oh, that was good. Now say Collingwood.
And Hollywood.
Go to Pies. Yes.
Everyone give me a cheer.
Go to Pies.
Don't worry, don't do it. Put a smile on your face. Don't bring everybody down like this. Don't worry. It will soon pass, whatever it is. Don't worry, be happy.